these. I think I have so many things open that's overloading my laptop. Okay. All right, so you're going to turn on your TI-84. And we're going to go through this from yesterday, all right, to create an equation. So we're going to use these numbers right here about the engine. All right, so to do this on your calculator, this is called quadratic regression. Okay, and regression just means you're fitting a curve to the data. All right. Okay. So to do this, you have to do a stat plot. So you're going to go to your calculator and press stat. Here it is. Here. Okay, so here's the stat key. Okay, so I'm going to press stat. All right, and then I'm going to highlight number 1 where it says edit. Okay, and then hit enter. All right, now what it's going to do is it gives you all these columns that you can enter numbers in. L1, list 2, list 3, list 4. So in L1, we're going to put in the times right here. This is going to be L1. So I just enter. So you just type them in, hit enter, and it goes to the next line. And then your L2, you're going to put in your Y values. So that's these guys. This is going to be L2. This is your X's. So you just use your gray arrow keys, and it takes you up to the next row. And then you type in those values. Fine. Enter. Okay, so we've covered step 1, how to enter the data. Anybody need help there? All right, so the next part now is we're going to come up with the equation. So step 2 is calculating data. So now what you're going to do is you're going to press stat again. Stat. And now I'm going to highlight calculate. So my right arrow. Now these are all the different things that you can fit to a set of points. Okay, you can put a line, you can put a quadratic, which is ours, you can put a cubic, you could put a fourth degree polynomial. We're doing second degree polynomials, so that's 5. So I'm going to choose 5. Now it's going to ask me which list is your X. So on mine, it's already highlighted as L1. And then it says, okay, where's your Y list? Well, we put our Y list under L2. Okay. All right. So now we don't have a frequency list, so we don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going to hit enter, 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 enter. There's your equation. Okay. So negative 16x squared plus 64bx or 64x plus c. That was our equation from yesterday. Now ours look different because we wrote ours in vertex notation. Okay, this gave you the equation in general form. 16x plus 64 plus 512. So that's how you do it on your graphing calculator. Now, if you want to graph a normal equation again, yeah, never mind, you're okay. All right, so that's called cubic regression. Now we'll do it on Desmos. Okay, so to get to the Desmos graph is really handy because you could do it any way you want. You can do it in general form, you can do it in vertex form, you can do it in intercept form. It'll put it. All right, so I'm going to open up Desmos. Just open up a file. Well, actually, I sent you a file, so let's do this. Should be in Google Class. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Google Classroom. There. No, I don't see it. Okay, we can do it without the file. We'll just do it from scratch. So open up a Desmos. And you're going to put the information in as a table. Okay, so up here, you're going to go to the plus sign, plus, and we're going to add a table. And you're going to type in your same information you did. You're going to type in this table again. Six, 7, 5, 12, 4, 32. Okay, then you probably won't see them because you got to zoom out. Because the Y values are 500. Now it just looks like a straight line, not much of a quadratic. Okay. So to get this, to see the quadratic, okay, we know that our x-axis just goes up to 6. So if I shorten the x-axis here, so I'm going to go up to my gear, my wrench, and right now my x-axis goes all the way up to 1400. I'm just going to have it go up to 10. And now it goes out to negative, doesn't need to go to negative 100. I'll just say negative, I don't know, 5. Negative, oh, okay, now it looks more like a quadratic. You click on these, it gives you what their coordinates are. Okay? All right, now what we want to do is get that to fit an equation. Okay, all right, quadratic. Okay, so go down number 2 here. All right, we're going to enter an equation that gives us y1. Okay, so the way you do that is you type in y and then 1, and it gives you a little subscript. All right, now what you have to put in is the tilde, the little curve. Okay, the tilde symbol is up on your keyboard. It should be right to the left of number 1. So you hit shift and that little squiggle. So it's up in the left-hand corner of your keyboard. All right, as soon as Desmos sees that squiggle, it's going to fit. We're going to tell it, what kind of curve do you want? Well, this looks like a quadratic to me. Okay, so I'm going to say I want a quadratic curve. All right, so our quadratic in general form goes A, so choose A. Now, it's using the X numbers. So you're going to go X1, and now square that. Okay, so it should look like that. And now plus B, X, plus C. Whoops. Oh, I forgot the X1. X1. So there's your A value, negative 16. There's your B value, 64. And there's your C value, 512. Okay, now put it in vertex form. So this is the cool thing about Desmos is I'm going to type this in, but I'm going to do vertex form instead. So Y1 squiggle A parentheses X1 minus H parentheses, whoops, X1 minus H squared plus K. That's vertex form. And there it is. A is negative 16, H is 2, K is 576. And you can put it in intercept form. So Y1 squiggle A parentheses X1 minus P parenthesis X1 minus Q. And now you got the equation in intercept form or factored form. Q is negative 4 and P is 8. Okay, so our graph is just from 0 out to 8. 8 is when it hits the ground. This was 0. This is where it was once the engine cut off, and it coasted up a little bit higher. Then it started to come back down, and at 8 seconds it hit the ground. So the domain of our function is from 0 to 8 based on this graph right here. So quadratic regression Desmos is really handy because you can put it in any form that you want. You just got to be sure that the X's and the Y's are labeled like this. Now, I can even add more things to this table. I could make another table and call it X2, Y2, and just change these to 2's, and it would give me the equations for that table. Okay. All right. So let's have you try one here. Let's see. Okay. So on your graph, what you got typed in, you don't have to clear anything. Or you can just start new, it doesn't matter. But put in this table right here and do a quadratic regression for this table and do it in all 3 forms. Let's see if you can do it on Desmos. So I'm going to go Control Shift. This table right here. Now you can just call it X1's fine. Negative 9. Six, negative 5, 0, 6, 9. Okay, there's your come up with 3 equations. Okay, let's see on your calculator. I think you got your missing points. It should go below the x-axis, doesn't it?
No, this is my topic.
Oh, it's down there. Okay. So,
Never mind. You know how last time you have changed the window? I never just, but it has to go up to like 18. Just to see how it's that's why you can't see it.
you can graph it. See, it should go all through your points.
All my other ones.
Curves, yeah. What do we? Huh, that's interesting. Let's see. Well, this isn't on your quiz tomorrow. Your quiz is over those 2 earlier assignments. This is the stuff from assignment O. Here we go. Let's see. So we're going to go Y. Oh, wait a minute. Back up here. That is Y1, X1. Let's see. We're getting a weird one on the Oh, duh. There are no intercepts. So when you try to do this one with, if you tried to do intercept form for this, you can't because there are no x-intercepts. So you'll get something that's nonsense when you try to do wiggle x1 minus p x1 minus q okay, and you get something and it's like, what? Negative, my p-value is 2.0 8 times 10 to the 8th. That's because this graph doesn't have any x-intercepts. So you would not be able to write it in that form. That would not make any sense. Okay, so let's see. For the other one, y1 squiggle a x minus, whoops, x1 minus h. So here it is in vertex form, plus k. So I didn't square it. I'm going to go shift square. There we go. Now, do you guys remember the Pearson correlation coefficient? Okay, the correlation coefficient is right here, and it says it's 1. So when something has a correlation coefficient of 1 or -1, that means it's a perfect fit. The graph goes through every single dot on your drawing or on your graph, right? And then the other one would have been y1 squiggle ax1 squared plus bx plus c. Okay, forgot the x1. See, and that's another perfect fit. So you should get A is 1, B is 2, C is 6. Anybody need help with getting that on? All right, that's it for today, guys. The assignment was that sheet that you got today. So this, where is it? Section. So it's 1A, 1E, and 3A, B, and C. Yeah, they're checked on that paper I gave you. On a separate sheet. Sorry, separate sheet.